Hello everyone, welcome again to this series of 50 days 50 questions, and in this series I've brought you 50 different concepts that I'll be discussing every day in order to prepare you for the RBI DEPR Phase 1 examination. You may subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any updates on our upcoming videos. This is the day 2 of the video. Okay, if you haven't watched the day 1, I would recommend that you please go watch it and understand the topic of contingent valuation, okay, and related terms. What is use value, what is non-use value, different things. All of these would be clear once you watch that video. So let's start the day 2. Question on the screen is, for a monopolist, price is ₹16 and marginal revenue is 4. The elasticity of demand will be. Now, I hope you know what a monopolist is, what is marginal revenue, and what do you understand by elasticity of demand. If you don't know who a monopolist is, I have given a link for a video on market structures. There are various forms of market. You must go and watch that particular video to understand and get more clarity on different forms of market and what are the characteristics of these forms of market. So to summarize, monopolist is a single seller, okay, in the market who's the only seller of the particular product, and there are no close substitutes for a monopolist. There are also barriers to entry. Other firms cannot enter the particular market, mostly because there are high costs involved. Okay, marginal revenue, as the name suggests, marginal is additional. So additional revenue that the firms get by selling that additional unit of output in the market, that is marginal revenue. So suppose you sell 5 units of pen, okay, the quantity is 5 units you are selling for pen, and you are getting 20 rupees. Okay, now you sell the 6th unit and you get 25 rupees. So what is the additional revenue? 25 minus 20, which is 5. This is your marginal revenue. Okay, now coming to the term elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand tells you the responsiveness. So for a certain change, a percentage change in price, how much will be the percentage change in the quantity demanded? Okay, that is given by elasticity of demand. So for instance, let's say price increases of a particular product from 10 to 15 rupees. Okay, now because of this increase, how is the quantity demanded changing, right? That is given by elasticity of demand. Now the options to this question are 4/3, 3/4, 4, 1/4 and 0. If you know the answer, if you know how to solve it, I would recommend you to pause this video right now at this stage, solve it, answer the question, come back and then continue watching the remaining part of the video. Alright, if you don't know, let's discuss this. So in order to solve these kinds of questions, there is a very important relationship that I would like you to know so that you can easily solve such kind of questions. So what is that important relationship? See, total revenue, how much the total revenue any seller or any producer is getting will be price times quantity, right? How many units you are selling and what is the price per unit, right? This will give you your total revenue, the total amount that you are getting, right, as a firm or as a seller. Now what is the marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is the addition to total revenue. So if you have clarity about differentiation, you would know that how do you get this marginal revenue from total revenue? You have to differentiate this total revenue function, right? So differentiating this total revenue function with respect to quantity will be your marginal revenue, because this is change in the quantity. So for a change in the quantity, right, how much will be the change in the total revenue is given by marginal revenue. Now in place of this total revenue, I can write P times Q, which is my total revenue function, divided by DQ. right? Now apply the chain rule, use the differentiation, the chain rule, when you have to differentiate this function with respect to q, right? So how do you apply chain rule? Once you keep price to be constant and you differentiate q with respect to q. So this is dq by dq. Plus then you keep q to be constant and you differentiate p with respect to q. So you have dp upon dq. So in other words, I can write my marginal revenue as p plus q times dp by dq. This is the marginal revenue, right? This is my one equation. Now also note that elasticity of demand is given by delta q time upon delta p times p by q. This is the elasticity of demand, right? And a negative sign because there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Now if I take the reciprocal of this elasticity, what do I have? I have delta p upon delta q into q by p, right, with a negative sign. Now in place of delta, this is change only, and this differentiation d, this is also telling you change, right? So this, I can write it like this, minus dp upon dq into q by p. This is my 1 by e elasticity, right? This is my second equation. Now use these two equations, use this relationship to substitute in the first equation. So marginal revenue now becomes price plus q times, this is dp by dq, right? So in place of dp by dq, what can I write here? I can write this as minus 1 by e times p by q, right? Now this q cancels each other out. What am I left with? I am left with mr is equal to p minus p by e, or in other words, price times 1 minus 1 by elasticity. So this is a very, very important relationship that I wanted to tell you. Okay, so what the relationship is, that marginal revenue is equal to price times 1 minus 1 upon elasticity of demand. Okay, so if you have marginal revenue, this is 4, you have price which is 16, you have to find out elasticity of demand. You can easily find out using this expression, right? So let's use this expression. mr is price which is 16 times 1 minus 1 upon elasticity of demand, right? Now in place of mr I can plug 4, so 4 will be equal to 16 times 1 minus 1 upon elasticity of demand, right? So my elasticity of demand would be, now you rearrange this term, 1 upon elasticity of demand, so 16 goes, let's say, on the other side, you have 4 by 16 on the other side, and then you have 1 minus here. This is 1 upon elasticity of demand. So this will be equal to 1 minus 1 up by 4, which is nothing but 3 by 4, right? Now this is reciprocal, so you have to take the reciprocal again. Elasticity would be 4 by 3. Hence the correct answer here is A. And yes, because all these options, elasticity of demand, at times the negative sign is ignored because it is understood that the relationship is negative between price and quantity. So even if it's not mentioned in the options, you will this would be the correct answer, right? At times they write it in brackets or they ignore it also, so that is fine. So I hope you have understood this concept and you have to remember this relationship always in order to solve such questions. The relationship between marginal revenue, price and elasticity of demand. Now I have one question for you. Reply in the comments. So in this question, or in general, what do you think will the monopolist produce if elasticity is less than 1? So in our answer, the elasticity of demand was coming out to be greater than 1. Now you have to answer, will the monopolist produce if the elasticity of demand is less than 1? If so, then tell me in the comments why. If no, then also write down why not. Also attempt the mock test on our website for RBI DEPR in order to prepare 50% faster. You can also check out the playlist we have uploaded. We have discussed various questions, we have discussed previous year questions also here. This playlist will come in handy for you. You can also download the memory based papers from the description of this video. If you have any other queries regarding the exam or any other doubt, you can call us on this number or you can email at this email ID. Thank you.